I think it's really difficult for a non-Power 5 conference to consistently be competitive with Power 5 leagues. It is a money thing. It's also a TV thing and an exposure thing, facilities thing. I think one of the things that Gonzaga has done is skew everybody's perception of how difficult this is.
And that's a basketball-only conference.
It's a basketball-only school, and it's a basketball-only conference like the Big East is. But it also goes to show you that you're not going to be able to beat these traditional powers year after year after year. You may be able to break through and have a program that separates itself, like Gonzaga has in the West Coast Conference, or maybe a Boise State in football. But year after year, it's really difficult to do because you don't have you can't recruit the same bodies. You can pretend you can, but you can't. And ultimately that's what it takes. Coaches are very important. Maybe the second most important. The most important thing is players.
Right.
And if you don't have players, like you can lose with really good players, but you can't win without them. And you have to have players.
How tough is it? Have you seen on a national scale to keep a good quality, quote-unquote, mid-major coach? Again, using Gonzaga as an example, Few was one of the rare ones that
he's one of and that was my point about Gonzaga having skewed people's perceptions of it, because they're no longer a mid-major program. They've invested in their program, even to the point where their league is having to give them extra money than the other schools are getting because they're investing more and carrying the league by themselves. Gonzaga's propped up that entire league. So they can pay their coach more. He's decided to stay, but that's an anomaly. Most programs in Division I, non-Power 5, that get really good for a period of time, their coach goes somewhere else because it is easier to win and they make a lot more money. And so it's really hard to keep them. And so if you're a really good mid-major program, you get used to the idea of we're going to get really good, our coach is going to leave, we're going to get another coach, and hopefully we'll stay good, and we're able to sell our place as a cradle of great coaches. That this is a springboard to go for our coaches to go on to other jobs and just be comfortable in your own skin that way. It's a tough puzzle. And then when you're a non-Power 5 team, and this goes for football and basketball, it's a struggle to get the quality games that you need for your numbers to be competitive. And I differ with some of my football colleagues that say, well, hey, if Houston had won all its games a couple years ago, they would have been in the college football playoff. I think that's like winning the lottery. I think it's so skewed.
Those teams invariably never get higher than 10.
It's near impossible. Now, it may be possible, but it is near impossible. The good news in basketball is if you can win your league and win your league's automatic bid, you have an opportunity to compete for the national championship. So football is about as democratic as it can be. But you have to look at it this way too.
Football or basketball?
Excuse me, basketball is more democratic. I'm sorry if I misspoke. But the way you have to look, or at least the way I look at it, football has maybe 120 programs in the football championship division. In basketball, there are 354 Division I institutions. The idea that 354 teams can be competitive with one another is a pipe dream. They can't. It's too many. But everybody wants the money, and they want to be able to say, "Hey, we're competing in Division I because it helps their enrollment, it helps their giving." There's way more to this than competing in basketball.
Last thing, and you mentioned it at the top, coaches is a big thing, and you got to be consistent with your coaching. But one coaching miss at a mid-major level at a program that's been consistently good can be devastating.
Yeah, if you make a mistake or if a coach leaves you, that can be difficult, and that's why succession is really important. And so you have to be on top of who the next person is all the time, because it only takes a few years, and you go from having a really good program to having a team.
Right.
And then you got to build it up again. It's amazing how hard it is to build up and how easy it is to fall down.